Hello there, I'm Jimmy Vegas and welcome to the 12th video in a series of game development tutorials on how to make your own visual novel style game in Unity. In this tutorial we'll be linking our two scenes together so as we can eventually make our game seamless. Remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to stay up to date with every tutorial I upload. Feel free to leave a comment or drop a like. I also have a Patreon page where you can help be a part of this channel, and you'll also find all the scripts and the assets to this series there too, along with plenty of other things. You can also now join as a free member. Now, on with the tutorial. So, last time, if you remember, we enabled this scene inside our main build. And what that means is that we can essentially have this scene linked to the other scene and we can seamlessly transition between the two. But we need to do a bit of extra code to do that. Currently, this scene just displays as it is. We haven't really done anything with it, but I want to give it that kind of seamless effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to start creating the event script for this scene, and then we'll create the other script which allows us to transition to this scene. So let's go to our scripts, and let's go to scene 1. If you remember, this is the actual script we use for scene 1. So I'm going to go into this just for now because we're going to use it later on. We may as well go into this to start with because we're going to use a couple of lines of code from this script to kind of have our other scene seamless. So a lot of these things are going to be exactly the same. So we're going to have a lot of these actual variables in the same script. But we're not going to copy and paste the script. We're going to create a new folder in the scripts folder, that is. So a new folder, we'll call it scene02. And inside here, let's name it the same. So let's have scene02 event. That's going to be the name of the script. So create a new script, scene02 event. And before we open it, something's been bugging me. This should be Park Back. We named it Pack Back for some reason in the previous tutorial. I'm not sure why. Maybe I was having a bad day. Anyway, let's now open our scene02 event script. And what I want to do, at least just for simplicity, is have that fade in happen. So let's start by declaring our variable at the top. So serialize field. And we'll have it as a game object, and it'll be called fade in semicolon. Let's get rid of void. Do we need update? Do we use it in this one? Let's double check. We did. So we are going to need void update. So we'll keep it for now. And we are going to need void start. We're going to create a starter event. So we'll do the same sort of thing here. So let's get rid of the annotations. And let's go into scene 01 and let's take this event starter. So let's copy this. That's the coroutine. Let's go into scene 2 event. Let's go below void update and paste it. You will get some lines being underlined, saying it's not quite right. That's fine. That's completely fine. What we'll do is we'll get rid of almost everything up to where it says Chark Sumi. So, what do we do here? Well, I want to change this wait for seconds. I'm going to have this as 0.5f, and then we'll see how it looks. See, we've got here, in the original scene 10 script, we called it fade screen in. So maybe we should actually rename this to fade screen in 2. There we go. So fade screen in, fade screen in. Excellent. So that means that in void start, we now need to put start coroutine and in brackets event starter. Open close bracket, semicolon, and save. So what this means is that, in fact, we will set that back to 2 because if I recall, fade screen in is indeed 2 seconds long. So yes, we will keep that as 2 seconds. So once we've saved it, head back into Unity, give it a second just to compile. And then we need to attach this script to this scene. So if you need to double check how things are done, because it's always good to try and keep things uniform, you can switch back and forth between the two scenes. Just remember to save the scene every time. So going back into the class scene, remember we had this scene control, so we'll do the exact same thing. let's go to our park scene, create a new empty game object and call it scene control. And then drag and drop scene 02 onto scene control, and then assign that fade screen in variable, which is this one, fade screen in, and then remember to turn it on. So what that means is that when we press play, it'll fade in, and we've also got a script that will turn it off after 2 seconds. As you can see, that just happened there. So now, accompanied with the fade out that we have in the other scene, and this one fading in, whole thing should be seamless. So let's go and create that code that allows us to transition between the two scenes. So let's go to scenes, let's go to class scene and save. Scene control. And we've already got scene 1 events open, so we can just double click here, or you can go through it and do whatever you need to. Now, transitioning between the two scenes is actually really simple. You just need a couple of lines of code placed at the right time. And if you remember last tutorial, we mentioned that when we added the scene, there was a 0 and a 1. And those numbers are key to getting this to work. We are going to change them later on in development. This is just to kind of get things working at the moment. Scene 0 is most likely a splash screen or maybe even a main menu. So that's not going to stay as our class scene. But don't worry, we'll get into the more intricate details of that later on. To start with, we need to go right up here and we need to go and say using Unity engine dot scene management semicolon. So what we've done here is we've had a namespace so this script can fully understand that we want to use scene management within the code. If we don't put this in here, the script will have no idea. Think of this as a library, and I'm sure I've said this before. It's an area that the script can go to reference and say, that's what this line of code means. So where do we put this line of code? Well, if we scroll down all the way to our final event, which in this case is event 4. So if you remember, this is where everything ends. Well, it means that we can now say scene manager dot load scene, and in brackets, we'll put 1 for now, semicolon, and save. That 1 will become a variable at some point within development. What it basically means is that we're going to load ourselves into scene 1. But when we can change that dynamically via a different script, we'll be able to change scenes. So we'll be going back and forth between different scenes, triggering different events. So once that's done, go back into Unity, give it a second just to compile. And if we press play now, we don't need to set any other variables because we've only added that extra line of code to transition between scenes. If we go through this now, everything should be seamless to our next scene, which is the park. So yeah, hiding over there in the corner. We know all this works just fine. Perfect. Sorry, didn't mean to. Let's go to the park and look for a carne. So next, we should fade out and fade into the park. Perfect. Now, things can be done a little bit different here. That was kind of like instant. You saw how quickly that changed. We can change just how fast and slow that transition can occur, but it's not done through the actual scene management script. We can physically do that here. We don't necessarily need to turn the fade screen on instantly. We could delay ourselves a couple of seconds just to give the impression of waiting. Do you want it to load into the next scene so fast? Well, let's try changing that. So what we'll do is we'll say yield wait for seconds 2, and we'll set that as true rather than false. And then we'll copy those 2 lines of code, place them below, still 2 seconds, and then set it as false. And save. Now, essentially what's happening here is that we're turning something on and off, and realistically, we shouldn't be. I suppose the idea is I've turned the fade screen on and I didn't really need to. But trying to think now, this might not work as intended, but if we remove that, I'm just trying to think logically here, because we don't need to transition to our new scene quite so early. So if we have that wait for seconds of 2, here rather than in the other scene, it would work better theoretically. So let's add those 2 seconds there, save, head back to Unity. Is it gonna? There we go. And press play. And hopefully this will keep us lingering longer on that black screen if you would want it to be like that. So let's click through next on here. Let's go to the park. So fade out, hangs on black. We can always deal with the music later and then fade in to park. And again, it's up to you how fast or slow you want it. I quite liked how fast it was on the other script. So we will... I've been deleting things there, I didn't mean to do that. So we will keep it as it was there. So I'll keep it like that. So we've now been able to transition between our 2 scenes seamlessly. We've got everything set up, so that means in the next tutorial what we're going to do is we're going to add in some interaction in our scene, and we're going to add our 2 characters in there. So the idea of what I want to do is I want one of our characters to come sliding in and say, I can't see Akane. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to have an on-screen game, per se. Let me just load the scene. An on-screen game where we will have to try and find Akane. And the idea of that is just a case of, is she behind the tree? We click and something happens. Or is she behind this building? We click and something happens. So we've got to try and find Akane. So that is the interaction that we're going to be dealing with in the next tutorial. So yeah, remember to subscribe, click the notification bell, stay up to date with every tutorial still to come, and I'll see you next time.